honest. I will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video.
What is up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome a new face in town that they call Cowboy Face, man. What is going on, my guy?
Well, what's going on, brother?
Going on. I think it's the first time we've ever done a collab on live stream, but you've been on my Hangouts in the past.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, it's good. I'm glad you put me on here. I know I said this year, this season I was going to go live a little bit more. I started this year with Talking Crazy with Cowboys Corner, shout out to them and Cowboys Corner. But I only did it 1 week, and every time Saturday comes around, man, something's coming on, but here we are on a Thursday night, so that works out good for my schedule.
Yeah, I've had Cowboys Corner on from time to time, and yeah, he's always a straight up guy. Pretty cool dude.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
right,
but
well,
yeah.
I mean, this is not what I expected.
Yeah, this is not exactly what we expected, but you know what, man? You said you wanted to say what you got to say about the Cowboys, bro. Like, how do you feel about this matchup? I know you kind of been telling me how you feel about it.
Well, I mean, I had lots of plans, for making a hate week video and, with the Cowboys and 49ers, because once I saw that on the schedule, I said, all right, well, it's on again, but overall right now, man, I'm just so humbled, man, throughout the few years, losing to y'all 2021 in the wild card, and then the 2022 season, we lost in the divisional against y'all in the divisional playoffs. And now last year was just a complete joke, and now, like, this is pretty much a handicap bowl for both teams. There's plenty of players that you're having problems with, and then Cowboys have players that it's just, man, like this is not what I expected. But the way I feel about this game, man, is we could have, the Cowboys could have a chance, but man, it's the Dallas Cowboys, and are we going to sit here and feel like a little brother, like how the Cowboys own the Giants year in and year out? Is that how are we going to feel, against the 49ers team, even though we both have injuries? Because I kind of feel that way, but Cowboys are Cowboys, because I thought the Cowboys were going to lose against the Steelers, and look what happened. I mean,
yeah, you guys pulled a miracle out of that play. I mean, we're pretty similar teams. I mean, we're just playing like disappointment. We haven't performed. I guess the injuries do play a factor in some ways, but man, how the hell we lose to those Rams? I don't know. It's like we lost to the Cardinals. How the hell that even happened? But Kansas City,
division.
Yeah, I can expect Kansas. No, but division-wise, it's kind of like a tricky part. It's like we've owned these guys, and they just finally got us. So it's like, Kansas City, I didn't expect anything less, man. It's either we were going to be on a roll with them, or they were just going to have our way with us. So
yeah,
no surprise.
Yeah, see, Cowboys had a bye week, so I mean there is an advantage right there, with the rest, and we had questions if Jerron Bland was going to play, and I don't think he should, and it's looking like he's not, because I was looking at the practices today. You got Eric Kendricks. He limited on practice, because of his shoulder. And there shows Deron Bland, he did not practice, with his foot still. Then you got Ceylon Carson, I mean, at least he's going to be coming back, but I'm not too high on Carson, man. Every time when the ball goes his way, I'm always afraid he's going to have trouble tackling. It just seems like that, every time I see that situation. And then Maris Luafau, he had a full practice, so. But, I mean, I don't know about Cooks. If anybody can tell me about Brandon Cooks, But,
I mean, I've heard that he's already listed. I think he's kind of been listed out for this one, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
I mean,
it didn't show the list at all. He wasn't even on the list at all.
So that part means he's either not on. Yeah, I look at how you guys are dealing with injuries because I had to look deep, because I got to do my homework on who you guys are, who's going to play and not. And I guess from what Valix Prime was telling me about, which I didn't take into consideration because I'm saying, dude, if they're going to come back from this injury, then you guys should be all right. And then I'm had to search up more and I'm like, damn, it has to be that worse than us. But on defense, that's the only difference. We've dealt with injuries on offense. I mean, the only player that we're missing is Dre Greenlaw on defense. I feel like the defense seems pretty good. I like that we moved our cornerback from Ronaldo Green. He had a really great game against the Chiefs. They tried to throw his direction, but it didn't really work that well. And he's a good tackler. We got even Hufanga, Hufanga is an all-pro, but he's been gone. He's been in and out of the lineup. And we got this kid from Wake Forest named Malik Mustafa. He's built like DK Metcalf, but looks like a linebacker, but he can hit. Dude, he can lay the hit. I mean, there's a lot of concerns when it comes to the offense, dude. It's just the red zone. The red zone is the problem. It's maybe the Christian McCaffrey factor. I don't know, but I see that you guys
still got a good running game. I see it in a way. I mean, what's that? What's the one that's taking Christian McCaffrey's place right now?
Oh, Jordan Mason.
Man, he looks pretty good. He's not that bad. I mean, I'd rather take him over than any freaking running back that's on the Cowboys. Brandon Cook. I'm tired of hearing about Cowboys fans, saying, "Oh, bring Brandon Cook." I mean, I know Jerry Jones, can be crazy, and they make stupid decisions throughout time. But come on, they're not that stupid. I think what it's looking like with Dalvin Cook, I mean, is he's done. He's staying on the practice squad. I mean, he's done. There's got to be a reason why he hasn't, come up on the line yet. I mean, so I just want to just stop talking about the Dalvin Cook. I don't think we're saving him or anything like that. I mean,
what's the purpose of the practice squad? You can just go get somebody else off the street or something.
Man, there's just stuff like that, man. There's just nothing I can say, man, with the choices we've been making lately. Seriously.
I guess your guys' red zone offense is ranked 31st. It's I never thought it was that bad.
Yeah, see, Alexander commented, and that sounds about right, man. I agree, Alexander.
I'll
Eagles, that sounds about right because that's still a few more weeks. I wanted to wait toward the end of the season, but who knows how the Cowboys' record would be by then, But I just I don't want to rush Deron Bland. It's like a career thing. I don't want him re-injuring, himself. And I mean, because we want him in the long run. It's not like he got injured toward the end of the season, and playoffs are coming up and we're trying to rush him in, to go for a playoff run. I mean, just go ahead, and the way we're playing right now, it's not like we're having high hopes right now, so just give him some time.
Yeah, I think that you guys are hoping that those other guys can step in, but like you said, you don't have no faith in Carson, who's been filling that spot.
And Trayvon Diggs, I mean, he's been struggling too, man, but he's coming back from that, Achilles injury. So I've noticed, man, he's not cutting he ain't cutting very well. When it comes to quick slants or a quick outs and stuff like that, I've noticed he's a little slow on keeping up with that. And I don't know. I'm not going to say he's afraid to tackle, but he's having problems tackling, and he just doesn't seem as fast. But I mean, you can give it time and just let him keep, working it out. But
Yeah,
overall,
I mean, yeah,
yes, I
Achilles injuries for cornerbacks can be like so tough to overcome because they never come back the same player like they once were. Like Sherman, for example, said that he was never the same when he had that injury. So it's like you get those from a lot of guys, but they may lose a step or so when they have that injury because it takes away the cuts. Because if you were playing a different position, like maybe like offensive lineman, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal because you can still move, but you don't have to cut as much. You know, you just have to move a little here and there, but it's not like you're going backwards, you know, and other stuff.
how's Nick Bosa right now?
He's kind of been having an up and down season, but he's kind of been okay. But our defensive line just hasn't really generated enough pressure as much. Like, yeah, the sacks are coming here and there, but they're not closing out at times. So it's like you look at our D tackles, it's like they're unproven right now. Like, I mean, the only one that seems proven to me is Malik Collins. I think Malik Collins is a steal. He used to play for you guys, but he's
That's the kind of players that was actually decent. You know, like I like what we got on our line right now is O.C. Adigizua, and I like the guy, man. I'm a fan of him. It seems like he needs more help around the defensive line. You know, like Mozzie Smith, man, this dude never creates pressure. You know, he hasn't like it. That's one of the biggest draft busts that, you know, we come across as Cowboys fans, you know, and you got Jordan Phillips, you know, kind of coming back. You're
just hoping that he can actually make an impact on your guys' defense, you know, like, oh, hey, we got your buddy, man. We got a good old A-bomb.
What's up, A-bomb?
Yeah, what's up, man? You know, you guys have been investing a little bit too much on the draft when it comes to players, you know, like players like you thought that were going to be the real deal. But yeah, Mozzie Smith is a disappointment. He's supposed to be the guy that eats up the run, you know, like kind of like you know, we got this one kid from we got this kid undrafted, and he's actually outperforming expectation. He's actually on our roster now. He's been promoted, dude. Evan Anderson, this guy's as big as Mozzie Smith, but moves. You know, the one thing about Dallas, bro, is they don't have a true coaching staff. That's the problem, bro. Like, why is Jerry Jones letting Mike McCarthy still running the ship? That's what I'm asking you a question. Why is he even still around?
It's because he's a yes man. You know, I mean, he gets along with Jerry, and whatever Jerry Jones says, Mike McCarthy's okay with it. There's coaches that ain't going to put up with it. You know, I mean, you can't have a Mike Holmgren. You can't have, you know, like a Bill Cowher. You know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have what was your old 49ers coach name again?
You mean the one we used to have? Like, oh, you're talking about Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, Harbaugh.
That dude's in the Chargers. Harbaugh is like he's an old school kind of guy that takes no for an answer, but you don't have that.
Think about it. You had Wade Phillips. Oh, he'll definitely bow down to Jerry Jones.
I mean, I would play it. We'll see what happens. But pure hate. But like, here's the thing you're gonna say, Cowboys Face. I know. Behind the scenes, you were telling me how you feel about Dak Prescott. Like Dak Prescott, I know he got $60 million, and I know there's some Cowboy fans that are just not feeling this guy, bro. They're saying he ain't worth the money. Like, give me your explanation, because you've been saying this behind the scenes. You've been telling me on the phone about this, and it's been like kind of like a topic for most Cowboy fans. Like, is he even worth the money?
No, I mean, you know, I will just start from the beginning. 2016, you know, everyone except the people that was, you know, except the fans that were just so on Romo still, you know. But when Dak Prescott came out, it was an excitement. It was something new to see. You know, we wanted Tony Romo to get well, but Dak Prescott came in at the perfect time with Ezekiel and that offensive line. Everything was clicking good. But for so long, like ever since he lost that Packers game, you know, in the divisional playoffs, 2016, that's always in his conscience, man, that, you know, the Cowboys can never get past the divisional round. And every time we hit the playoffs, man, he looks completely different, and for a while, all the way to 2020, he busted his leg, and that was really upsetting, man. That was pretty emotional. He's crying, in the field and getting on the cart, he rolls off. I mean, that was pretty deep right there. And 2021 came around and he lit it up. And it I was like, okay, Dak, you got this wild card playoff at home. Let's get these 49ers. That was a heck of excitement, hype, to get it going between the Cowboys and 49ers. And Dak did not do anything. And that last drive, it was a little bit of this, a little bit of dink and dunk. And then next thing you know, this dude runs the ball and time expires. And I understand, to try to run and get more yards and spike it to have a little, like 1 second left just to, throw at least one more pass into the TD, but that didn't happen. And then 2022 came around, and I had weird feelings. I was kind of giving up on Dak. He hurt his thumb. The first game against the Buccaneers. And Cooper Rush is sitting here. We're winning games. The only game we lost was against the Eagles. He went 4-1 with that Dak Prescott, and so he comes back, man. And here comes Dak again, lights it up. But when that time came, I get it. The Buccaneers, we retired Tom Brady and all that stuff, but the Buccaneers were already going downhill at the time. And Tom Brady knew that was his time. So we took advantage of it and we got that wild card win. And yes, I give it to Dak. He played a good game. But I'm telling you, here we are again, the San Francisco 49ers. And what does the defense do? The defense starts lighting it up, man. They started playing physical. Y'all couldn't really run the ball, couldn't really pass the ball. Purdy was, he was having trouble. And, and then y'all punting the ball. Well, what does Dak do? He takes us down the field a little bit, and having Tony Pollard run a few runs. And what does Dak do? Throw a pick when we were in field goal range. That took off some points right there. And then later on, what does Dak do? Throw a pick. That's when I was like completely done with Dak. And overall, man, he's been around since 2016. I want everybody to just take a moment and what was your life? What was your life doing? Like, how was your life going in 2016? Like I just felt it was just time to move on. Let some other team, take Dak and hope the best for him, whatever he does. Because I never hated Dak. I'm tired of the same stuff, man. And I just don't have faith in Dak anymore. Then he gets his big contract. And here we are. He's not playing a very good season. He's struggling, like Brock Purdy. But I would still take Brock Purdy over Dak Prescott right now.
I mean, the only thing that can stand out about Brock Purdy is he's exceeded the expectation. Like, let's not be honest, Dak was talented in college, but he was a 4th-round pick, which was like, but the fact that he was the last pick of the draft, it's like he exceeded it and actually took this team further. I think he's more than a system quarterback, but I think the narrative is too much. All right, A-Bomb. Yeah, see you around, brother. Yeah, me and A-Bomb are in good terms, man. We're pretty cool.
That's
I was
good.
in his hangout. Yeah, I was in the hangout like months ago, but everything's been squashed between me and him. I feel like Dak Prescott is like that one person, that one person where it gives you the hope, that like that one hope you feel like it can get you somewhere, and then it just falls apart. Like that's how Dak feels. But with Brock Purdy, it's like we didn't expect nothing from the guy. It's like you think of the lottery ticket, right? Like how the hell did Kyle Shanahan get out of this mess? Like he drafted Trey Lance and he got out of that mess. Most coaches would have been fired or been out of this situation. But for whatever reason, we dodged that shit.
Well, I'll take Kyle Shanahan.
I mean, Mike McCarthy is kind of like an old school coach at this point, but you got like Mike Zimmer. I mean, Mike Zimmer's defense is a little different. It's not the same.
I have to say with Mike McCarthy though, like, I was against Aaron Rodgers' opinion, on Mike McCarthy when, he helped him get fired, at Green Bay. And I was like, oh, look at, Aaron Rodgers being snooty, stuck up, thinking he's running the organization. He wanted, you know what I mean? I'm not specifically like that, but, it's like Aaron Rodgers is getting his way. I'm like, man, I would take Mike McCarthy, over Jason Garrett any day. I was desperate for another football coach because, he's at that time, he's been, Garrett's been around since 2010.
Yeah, he was the yes man. Yeah, he was the original yes man.
Yeah, and so when Mike McCarthy came in to start the 2020 season, I was excited. It was, once again, something new, and I wanted to see smarter schemes, strategy and better football. And I mean, besides the 2020 season, it was an injury season, kind of like this year. But 2020 it fell off, for his first year. But 3 12-5 seasons and only one. That's such a tease, man.
It's hard to do, especially at times for most coaches. Like to have a consecutive winning record with 12 wins in like 2 straight seasons. Yeah, it's not easy to do, but for some coaches, they're able to manage it for some reason. Like you look at I guess you could put it, that would probably be the only thing that Mike McCarthy has to bring to the table is the fact that he got you guys to the playoffs consecutive seasons. And it's just you guys can't get over the hump. The only thing that Mike McCarthy's resume stands out is with the Packers. It's like that's all he's known for is winning the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, and that's all it is. But in Dallas, he's taken you guys to the playoffs, but just never got the job done. I mean, you guys are like, see, the one thing about the Cowboys is they don't really go deep in this scouting stuff as much often. Like I feel like you guys needed a running back, a game-changing running back, somebody who can.
Yeah, we got us a running back, Jerry Jones, and goes in the family, the organization. Hey, let's get Deuce Vaughn. He's
a feel good story, but he's a small running back. But you want to go with somebody that can be the game changer, like kind of like.
I liked him when he was with Kansas State. I watched him a few times. In the Big 12. Being Texas Tech, but it's just I that first year, I really wanted to see if he can do anything. Because small running backs can do anything. I mean, Emmitt Smith came out small. But no, that was all favoritism. That was all, I don't know, man. I know there's a good lick of running backs that's going to be in for next year's draft because there's a lot in college right now, and like Texas Tech right now has got Taj Brooks, and that's a heck of a running back right there. I think we'll have him, and I wish him the best, going into the NFL. Whatever team picks him up, man, just give him a chance. I'd like to see what he can do.
It's just crazy how some of these guys get drafted by certain teams, but the problem is they get drafted so low or higher, or they even get behind the depth chart. Like, I guess running backs these days are like dime a dozen for some players. But, yeah, the one that's the most –
might be second or third round. That's my prediction for Taj Brooks.
Yeah, I might have to check him out, and maybe I can put in a word and interview this kid. Let's see. We cannot take you guys lightly. We're both injured. Let's be honest. Like, your defense is hurt. Our offense is dinged up. So I don't know how it's going to play out. But
I mean, we got Tyler Guyton, coming back to that offense, and
that was the guy I wanted in the draft.
Struggles. He's just a rookie. I mean, he's had his dinks and and they referees kind of been picking on him, and holds and stuff. And but what was it?
Yeah, I wanted Tyler Guyton in the draft too, but you guys were going to get him, so that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, but I know Cooper Beebe, man. I'm satisfied with Cooper Beebe. Of course he's not no Travis Frederick, or I want some Stefanowski guys, back then.
you want some old school players that play the game right, like if we're going into the draft and talk about how the team did in the draft. I mean, I was very impressed by the Niners drafting so far because the previous years, it was more like we wasted all these draft picks. But this year, they are actually contributing as expected. Like, You know, the guard that we got from Kansas, Dominic Poolney, that dude is nobody. He hasn't given up a single sack. Nobody's gotten past him. He's like that. Yeah, he's the real big dom. The real big dom you don't mess with. I mean, he's a good mauler.
We're still going to have to look for, Cowboys still going to have to look for offensive line because, there's been talks that Zach Martin, this could be his last year. We had Tyron Smith gone, Travis Frederick gone. Zach Martin is pretty much the last one, and I would love to replace Terrence Steele. But, I mean, our offense is looking really shaky. I was excited about them this year just because, Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe coming in, but we still need a lot of work because, Dak does, I have to admit, every quarterback needs an offensive line, but Dak's not really getting that good of a protection, and that's what is good about having Zeke still. Of course, he's lost a whole lot on him, and he can't really run the ball like he used to, and but he can still pass block like crazy. It's just like the problem with Dak at the same time, is this dude is standing around, man. Like he's holding the ball too long. He's looking around, and that's what Troy Aikman was talking about. The wide receivers not, having much explosion, getting off the ball and, running better routes and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not just sitting here hating on Dak and just pinpointing Dak, I mean, this offense there's something wrong with this offense. That Dak needs to run around. Like against the Steelers, he ran toward the end of the game when we needed it, and that was awesome right there. But all throughout the game, man, he was just stuttering and just kind of like, like not getting out of the pocket. And like this guy needs to be a Steve McNair or something, I mean, because he's not having good pocket time. He's got to move around. And in the past, Dak Prescott has made good plays, getting outside of the pocket. I just don't understand what's going on with. I mean, is there too much money in his pocket? It's weighing him down from running, or what?
Yeah. Oh, this is a good question for you. I had a question for the Cowboys fan. I'll come to Cowboys, but can I beat the Giants twice? The Cowboys cannot sweep the Commanders or the Eagles. I think you've actually swept the Commanders the last couple of years. But I don't think the Eagles are like a split, huh?
I see us splitting with Washington, and I see us splitting with the Eagles.
So you see it as a split, but the Giants you'll sweep?
You know what, man? We'll sweep them. Like, I mean, it's – who knows, toward the end of the season, because it's going to be back in Dallas. But, hey, we haven't won a freaking game at home, so you just never know.
Yeah, you never know how it plays out too, because division's tricky because we've actually had the Rams number for years.
Oh yeah,
but they beat us this year. The Cardinals, it's kind of tricky with them. But then Seattle, remember how Seattle used to have the Niners numbers for quite a while?
Oh yeah, that was man. I used to love watching the 49ers and the Seahawks back then.
The numbers it's turned the other way.
Yeah,
remember how Russell Wilson used to own the Niners? It's Brock Purdy who owns the Seahawks, vice versa. It's like,
it was more of that Legion of Doom that owned the 49ers pretty much.
Yeah, they were like a dominant force, but that team didn't. I mean, Pete Carroll was a good coach for a long time, and that's what sustained successful and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, here's your Packer buddy.
What's up, Adam?
Yeah. Yeah, we got to look at the season-wise, man.
Yeah, right there. Shout out to Adam James. He sent this. Signed Moose Johnson, Daryl Johnston, mini helmet.
I remember you told me something about it. Like the other day you told me about that autograph.
Oh, yeah, that means a lot.
Yeah, especially if it's signed by somebody. Like I remember I got an autograph signed by I got a bunch of autograph signs by certain players. Like Dan Buns was a good one because that one's like a legendary tackle. That's like the Dwight Clark version, but the tackle they call it.
Who was the one with the Rams that you had?
The one with the Rams?
Yeah, you had an autograph with the Rams, right?
No, it was the one with the. No, you mean the guy who used to play for the Niners and Rams, or are you talking about the guy from the? No, you're looking at the picture, huh? Wait, is this the picture where it's this picture?
No, it was you had a Rams picture, or did that throw me off?
No, it wasn't a Rams.
Oh,
No, it wasn't a Rams dude. That was you're kind of mistaken by that one guy that I got on my picture, but it was well, you're talking about this picture right here, Julian Peterson. No, there wasn't Rams. I don't have Rams.
well,
maybe the mix of the colors of it, what it was, but I don't have no Rams, bro.
you know, I don't like I don't want the Cowboys to fail. It's just what's going to change if the Cowboys lose by the 49ers? We go to 3-4 because Cowboys and 49ers, you know, both of us, we got a lot of pressure because if Cowboys win, the 49ers go to 3-5. And like, how are y'all going to be feeling? You know what I'm saying? Y'all just
that pressure. Yeah, the pressure.
That's a lot of pressure. And so 49ers going to come in fighting, man. They don't want it, you know what I'm saying? And we're coming in, off of a blowout loss by the Lions, but yet we had a bye week, and will that give us the advantage to play against, the 49ers that's played against the Chiefs last week? Or because Chiefs, man, y'all had the Chiefs for a little bit. Y'all did make Patrick Mahomes struggle a little bit, man. This is what I'm talking about with Dak Prescott. When Patrick ball and he ran for 33 yards, and got that huge first down. And I thought that was pretty awesome, man, how he ran into the end zone. And what was that guy? He knocked out into the end zone and was looking down at him when he scored. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, Mahomes,
he ran into the end zone.
Yeah, but he had a rushing touchdown.
Huh?
But he had a rushing touchdown, so that was pretty much it.
Yeah,
but
he knocked one of your players down, man, and he looked at him. Yeah,
no. But did you see that Dwight Freeney did something on the NFL and he called out the lead and said this is why Patrick Mahomes got a touchdown because they were afraid to get flagged or ejected.
You know what? We could talk about that all day long.
I know the rules are kind of soft.
I've seen other Chiefs games, and
I wish Drake Greenlaw was
time and time again, man. I saw that offensive line holding, and they would not throw the flag. And I'm like, I know they saw that one hold. Oh, I know they saw this hold, but if that was the Cowboys, man,
but. You see how you see the difference is Mahomes wouldn't be running that way if it was Drake Greenlaw because Drake Greenlaw would he don't care about a flag. He'll just let it be known. Like, remember that play where he did against Jordan Love, or was it one of he did it on Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts, one of the two guys. He made the hit and hit him, and he let it be known, hey, don't run on my field, or or you're gonna get hit again. Yeah. He did one of those hits on Jordan Love. He hit Jordan Love, and then he hit Jalen Hurts pretty hard. And then I think he hit he hit Devontae Smith, and then I guess he backed off. But Lenore, bro, Lenore is one of our most underrated cornerback, bro. That dude is a tone setter. He talks his shit. Number 2, you better watch out for that guy.
I'm not sold on our, Yeah, Brandon Cooks is out, and of course, CeeDee Lamb's going to be CeeDee Lamb. But I'm not sold on Jalen Tolbert right now. You know what I'm saying? I know he caught that touchdown pass, against the Steelers. But what about the play before? What if that was 4th down? You know what I'm saying? And Dak threw to Jalen Tolbert, right at the end in the middle of the end zone. And that was clearly a drop right there. It went out of his chest, stomach, or something, and he didn't catch it. Like, what if that was the 4th down call? But I'm glad he, turned around and made that play, the next play. But I guess Troy Aikman is right on that, because when I do see Jalen Tolbert run, man, he's not getting no separation, and he doesn't look like he has that much speed. And, I want to see Flournoy, like he's gone out on the field against the Lions for a little bit, but I want Dak to look his way and give him a chance, man, because we got to start spreading the ball around. I think overall, the most attention that you need to give is Jake Ferguson.
That's the one. That's the main target. But CeeDee Lamb's kind of been a threat from time to time. So,
I'd say keep doing, moving CeeDee Lamb in the slot or throw Turpin in there and do the, pre-snap motion or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Turpin is a gadget player.
Jake Ferguson and keep using him, and just don't. I know we're so terrible at the run, but just don't abandon the run. Daddle can get a few runs here and there, but just don't abandon the run and look for Jake Ferguson. And I'm telling you, stop eyeballing the same receivers though. Like give Flournoy a chance. There's Jalen Brooks and just whatever. But I can guarantee, man, since Troy Aikman said this, that they're not getting off the snap, and they're not running good routes. I bet you anything that they probably work their butts off to wake up, and they're probably going to run hard, in this game. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Criticism can get them motivated, but there is a couple of receivers that's still available that teams can sign right now, like Hunter Renfrow. That guy can separate. Like, Cooper why is Kupp? He even? But Cooper Kupp is a trade.
Honestly, Cooper Kupp would for Dak Prescott because Dak doesn't throw tight window throws to catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? It's either going to be high, low, or the receiver better go for it and get it. You know what I mean? When the receiver is covered, and Dak really doesn't throw wide receivers open. He doesn't throw them open. That's what I do miss about Tony Romo. I'm not trying to do the comparison. I'm just saying, like Dak has problems throwing wide receivers open, and Cooper Kupp, man, is great at getting open. And
he can separate.
That would be perfect for Dak right there. I just don't know how that would work out with the trade or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I would love for it to be Dak Prescott to Cooper Kupp. Having Cooper Kupp and CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson, that'd be a whole lot better combination than having Jalen Tolbert or Brandon Cooks.
There's other options, but it's like you said, the separation. We're having the same exact issue when it comes to the separation. I think that's going to be the most challenging part. Your defense is kind of dealing with injuries, but we're having problems with separation ourselves, and you guys are having problems with separation, and we're having trouble in the red zone, and you guys are having trouble in the red zone. And your defense, it's like the only thing that you guys have the advantage of right now is special teams. I think your special teams is ranked number 1 in overall NFL.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we get to the 40-yard line, it's going to almost be an automatic, with Brandon Aubrey. And I even saw news. They didn't have to say this, but news, Brandon Aubrey did not practice today. He went to jury duty, but he'll be, it's like – like all he's got to do is practice that leg,
Yeah, that was part of the reason why he wasn't there, of course. But yeah, there's just so I'm looking at the players who are not going to play for this game. Kevin Givens is one of our D tackles. He ain't going to play. Jawan Jennings has been listed out, which I was hoping he would come and play this week. But let's see. It's like you look at our receiver injuries, it's really thin right now because Ayuk is out for the season. And Debo actually Debo practice, which is crazy. How the hell do you practice that?
I don't wish no sickness, man, because I want him to get well and get on that field because I know he sure wants to play the Cowboys.
He's actually practiced, dude. It's I don't know how this guy comes back 4 days later. Really? He must have took something with antibiotics or something.
Yeah, because I didn't see the full game of the 49ers and Chiefs. It was off and on. But, I did see Debo on the sideline, doing a breathing treatment or something. He looked good.
He had to go to the hospital, and the only player we have that might give you guys some problems, I don't know. I don't know what I can say about Ricky Pearsall right now. He really has to prove more, but I think Jacob Cowan gives us that big playability that we're really going to have to use because he's got that speed. He kind of gives us like he's kind of like that vertical receiver. We definitely need to throw the ball deep down the field, but we'll see what happens. I mean, you got two.
If I was Brock Purdy, I would take advantage of the secondary, because Malik Hooker's not playing good. I mean,
but
man.
okay,
Donovan Wilson.
okay.
They're like Malik Hooker. This is how bad the front is on the defense, man. Malik Hooker's been having a lot of tackles, and why? Because he's passed through, like whoever's been running the ball has passed through that defensive line. But it's been some trouble with our secondary, man, and so, we don't know if Ceylon Carson, the cornerback is going to be 100% coming back, even though he's been having full practice. Take advantage of that, and Trayvon Diggs, man, like I said, he is not looking good this year, and I give Trayvon Diggs a pass, man. I love Trayvon Diggs. I just don't know how long it's going to take for him to get back to it. Like you said, man, being a cornerback, having that Achilles injury, man. That's hard.
Yeah, it takes away the cuts a little bit, so he may not be the same player at the same step like he once was.
I would like with y'all's offense, man. I would run the ball.
So run it with Mason. Okay.
I might have some kind of success right there, and the next thing you know, man, play action, boom.
Yeah. Throw it to one of our scrub receivers who's probably gonna have to play anyways, like Ronnie Bell. Well, throw him out there. I mean, Kittle's going to be out there for this game, but
I didn't talk about Jordan, Lewis, man. Lou. That's a good. I'm glad we still have him.
Well, so Jordan Lewis is like the only guy in your secondary, but does he play the nickel?
He plays into the slot a lot,
So nickel.
That's the best. That's the best place for him, But I'm really worried about Carson, man. I know we can all say he's a rookie and stuff, man, but I'm not trying to rush and just already, throw players in the garbage, for being rookies, but I just don't think he's the one, man. I don't think he's going to work out, but I love to be wrong, man. I've been wrong so many times.
I mean, you got to give it some time as the season goes on because it takes them a second year to leap. So it's like,
yeah, but but when you see rookies play, man, you see some sparks at least. I have not seen no spark at all.
I mean, the first year when we had Lenore, he wasn't all that. But then the following season or two, he got it together and he's playing really great football. So it takes time for them. Yeah, it takes. I mean, it depends. It takes time for them to adjust because remember, he's a rookie. He's trying to adjust to the game a little differently. So maybe you're right. Maybe he's not it, but I think for most players, they had to adjust to the speed of the game and adjust the way how they play. So there was a lot of questions about
Adam James. What happened to my stream yesterday? Yeah, I messed up. I got me a laptop now. I was wanting to go live more often, starting with CG Ruthless, but that was kind of like a getting ready thing. And I guess it like posted, saying like coming up, which never happened, and I need to work on moderator. I don't know how to do moderators. I see Adam James as a moderator. I don't know how, I guess that's been a while, but I want Alexander. Shout out to Alexander. I want to make him as a moderator, but
what about me?
What's that?
What about me? Now just play, man.
Well, if I see you on there, of course.
All right. Sounds good, bro. I'm just, it's all good, bro. Like, I remember those other weeks where, like, I remember when the first time I started doing the trash talk with you, man, we had to do this little bet, and I guess I was the victim of that shit.
Dude, that was great, man. And that was really the time that I met you was 2020. It wasn't during that hay week, it was sometime early in the season, we kind of talked a few times.
Off season. Like in the off season.
Yeah, that was perfect timing, man. But I love that as a classic. But man, thanks to A-Bomb, CG, A-Bomb got me back last year. And
yeah, I remember you inboxing me a while back about it, and I just didn't get a chance to go into it because I don't check the inboxes all the time. So it's like shit, didn't even notice. So it's like, but just to feel optimistic, what do the Cowboys need to do to actually pull the upset, man? I mean, there's got to be a little optimistic for you, man.
Oh yeah, I do. Just no penalties.
Okay.
Of course, both teams are going to have penalties, But
yeah, of course.
just please, refs, just don't pick on us, Just no penalties. And Dak, I'm going to put this on Dak, and I see the wide receivers are going to work hard. And I really do actually see that the offense will play better than we have been, and I will gain confidence if we're up 7-0 or 10-0, because when we're down 10-0 or 14-0, it's like the Cowboys, they're done. It's like they give up, you know what I'm saying? And bad stuff starts to happen. And that's when Dak and the offense, they start getting a little, nervous and trying to do something spectacular, and they start messing up. But I actually see our offense actually doing something. I don't trust in our, but I think if the Cowboys win the toss, just get the ball. Get the ball first, and you better move down the field. Don't stall. Be like, okay, let's depend on Brandon Aubrey, and get that 3-0 to start out with, Go down and score a touchdown. So, because every time when we start getting out in front, man, that's when things start to work out throughout the rest of the game. That's what happened with the Browns. That's what happened with the Steelers, That's what happened with the Giants, So the only time I'll actually be optimistic is when the Cowboys get a head start, against the 49ers. Because
So they got to get a head. So they got to get a head start. So they got to get on a good start on the first series.
Yeah, get a good start, and get up ahead, and instead of making Dak pass the ball and try to come back, and make Purdy, stop that run, make Purdy pass, with the injured wide receivers that you don't have, and because it's kind of hard to be optimistic, man, when both sides are even right now. It's just overall, man, with history, you're the big brother, and the Cowboys are the little bro. And that's how it's been for the past 4 years, and so 49ers are going to come in angry that they're 3-4, and they know, oh, we got the Cowboys. Well, let's go, and we already know how this rivalry goes, and that motivation and that hype is already in the 49ers because they know that they've owned us in the past. What I'm worried about is what's the conscience of the Cowboys going, all right, well, we're 3-3. We had some rest, but, oh, man, I don't know about Fred Warner over there, and crap like that, I love Fred Warner. Man, you know what? I like a lot of players in the 49ers, and they have to be on that freaking team, man. I love Fred Warner, man. I love Brock Purdy because, his faith in Jesus Christ, and I would take Nick Bosa over Micah Parsons. I mean, dang, man. Y'all are still the better team. With both injuries, I think what it's going to come down to between both teams being even is who has the better scheme. I say the 49ers have the better scheme.
And who can score? Who can score more? Who can score more at least? Like who can kick less field goals and just get touchdowns? That would be the obvious choice. I think the best way to beat you guys is just run the damn ball. Run Mason as many times as you want, but try to get Isaac Guerrero involved in the running game too. Maybe if Kyle Shanahan can do a little bit creative, get creative on the offense, man. Do some screen passes, man. Throw some screen pass. Cowboys
will struggle on screen passes, man.
That's what.
If y'all do that, y'all gonna get us.
Yeah, we need to do some screen passes. I don't care if Jordan Mason's not a reliable receiver. He can catch the ball and he's hard to tackle. Or get what's his name, Jacob Cowan on the screen pass. He can get you some big runs. Like he's a small receiver, but he's got that 4.3 speed to make it into a 30+ yard gain or something. You got to do something like that, and that's the problem with it. Yeah.
I want this one player, Kevontae Turpin, to be in the slot and just go out for a bomb, use his speed, and I want Dak to throw deep.
Deep balls is usually something. Yeah, you might want to take the vertical shots more on us because we've been struggling in that area a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And just look at the middle of the field. That's why I say I think the key player for the offense is Jake Ferguson. Look in the middle of the field right there, the middle of the field. I think that's what would be the biggest shot because. Not run in the middle of the field, with Daddle. If you got to do what you got to do, then yeah, but I say when we're doing passes, man, look a lot in the middle of the field. I don't know why I've noticed, man, there's been a lot of weaknesses in the 49ers.
There is some weakness on our game a little bit. Like some of it can be the little bit of the run defense. And then if you guys take the deep shots on the verticals, that's where we tend to struggle at times. It can either be called a pass interference or we can get beat for a big play out of it. So those are certain areas that we had to work on. I look at how Dallas is, I think your pass defense is a little bit okay. I think your run defense is part of your biggest issue.
Yep.
I
think the 49ers have the edge,
okay.
but that's why we all say any given Sunday, you know what I'm saying?
Any given Sunday, like
college football, NCAA football, there's a lot of one-sided games, when you look at Texas Longhorns versus Rice, you know what I mean? I mean, come on now,
Texas whipping.
It's stuff like that, when you got Texas Tech versus Tarleton State or something, or North Texas, okay, but that's why I like the NFL, man. Because a lot of people say they like college football, more than the NFL. And I guess I have to say I love the NFL more than college football. Maybe because I'm a Texas Tech fan. I grew up in Lubbock, and I had to deal with all the bull crap. I mean, great times in 2008, with Michael Crabtree and Graham Harrell, getting second, the nation, beating number one Texas that year. But other than that, that's what I got to deal with, as a college football fan. What made me love football is the Dallas Cowboys. I watched Emmitt Smith run the ball, on his rookie year. That's when I started watching football, was his freaking rookie year. At the time, I didn't know that was his first year, because I was little. But the Dallas Cowboys are the reasons why I started loving football. And I'm going to stick to it. So, yeah, this is my team right here. And, yes, I love the NFL more than college football.
I mean, win or lose, I go with the Niners with the NFL, of course. I mean, Steve Young was one of my favorite players, during my younger days. A lot of these young generation wouldn't understand what an actual quarterback was until you saw Steve Young out there. So it's like
Day Lunatic?
Yeah.
The Lunatic is in the house. What's up, bro?
No, but growing up as a fan, I just had the luxury to choose whatever team I choose. I just had to follow the different path and find a team I was looking at. And Steve Young was one of those dudes, just watching him play. It was an influence, but I got to watch those other running backs before too. Like you had the Ricky Waters of the world, which I was like a very young kid.
Oh, yeah.
You had the Garrison Hurst, the Charlie Gardners of the world. Kevin Barlow was all right, but Frank Gore was the real deal, man. Frank Gore was the real deal.
Yeah, you had Hurst.
Hurst was a beast until he had that injury in the playoffs.
Yeah, I liked Hurst there for a little while. But if we want to go all the way back, man, since I started talking about that, me watching Emmitt Smith, and I will never forget, man, the first time. I'll tell you this, CG, okay? I was a little kid, a little boy. The first time, man, I ever cried over a football game was the NFC Championship. from the 94 season where we lost to the 49ers. We were down 21-0. I mean, I remember he fumbled the ball. Irvin caught the ball, then he fumbled it, and I mean, it was like bam, 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 21-0. And like, I think that was the moment I was actually truly upset. And it was that NFC Championship game. And I was mad, and we tried to come back, and we just, time expired because 49ers kind of laid off the gas, we were coming back and we lost 38-28. But I remember going to the back porch and, this is me living in Plainview, Texas. And, man, I'm all sitting here crying, in the front of the porch, and I was living with my stepdad, and they're all getting drunk and whatever they're doing, and this one lady comes out, one of the friends, their friends or something. And she comes out and she's like, "You okay?" And I'm just all upset, just mentioned the Cowboys. And so I remember she looked at me and she's like, "It's just football," and she walks across to the detached garage, and comes back out. Then she said it again. "It's just football,"
But some people take it like they kind of think it's not personal when it actually is. Like, I've had different moments of feeling a different way. Like, man, there's a lot of pain, man. Like the Chiefs, they're just the pain. I just can't. Like, it's something like, how you have a hate for a certain team. Like, like the Chiefs are starting to become the number one. I would have never said this. I would have never said it in my entire years. Out of all the teams I had the most despised is the Chiefs now. It's like they were never on the list, but until they beat my team in the Super Bowl twice,
why
you gotta
so,
have to,
man? I'd be worse than you if I was in your position.
No, I mean, Chiefs top the Raiders, which I do. I can't stand the Raiders, but Raiders never done no damage to us. The Rams, man, they got lucky that one time, so I give them props for that. But you look at you guys like the Packers. It's hard to hate the Packers when you actually have them in their numbers in the playoffs, but it's just their fans they can be a little annoying.
Yeah, man, I really hope Debo comes in. I really do.
I think he's gonna play, but I don't understand why I don't understand how he just goes to the hospital. You usually have to take weeks to recover.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out, but let's get to the final conclusion. Like, we can go with the score prediction if you feel that way, or we'll see how it plays out this Sunday.
Well, what's your prediction?
Depending on how you guys play, man, it's like I'm not trying to overlook you guys, but from the looks of it, your defense is a mess right now. But then again, you guys can be pulling off a Ram, so I don't know, dude. So I'll try to be humble, but I actually have us I would say 31-17, but it's not even the mindset no more. I think it can go either way now because it's an even playing field because we have injuries and you guys have injuries. So maybe this game might come down to the field goal or maybe a touchdown.
Yeah, that's one thing that Brandon Aubrey hasn't experienced yet. He's made some great field goals and all that, but he has not had that chance, to kick a game-winning field goal or to tie the game. He hasn't been in that experience yet. I've been waiting on that because we're all praising him on these field goals, but when it comes down to the wire, when it really matters, for a game-winning kick, that's the kind of stuff I want to see from him, because that's a lot of pressure right there just on one player, being a kicker because it's all on you. But
seal the game winner. Seal the game winner.
Okay, I know this sounds weird, but if the Cowboys win, I don't have a score prediction. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they get ahead at, at least 10 points, I'll just say the Cowboys. If it's always going to be the same crap where 49ers go up first, we're kind of trying to, keep up with them throughout the game and stuff. I'm going to say 24-16. 24-16 49ers. And I say the Cowboys have the ball last, but we got to go and score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but the 49ers defense stops us.
Yeah. I think, okay, so best case scenario for my Niners is we probably have a dominant fashion win over you guys, but worst case scenario is you guys come into this game and make it a very close game where it comes down to a field goal where you guys probably maybe pull up the upset. So that's the worst case scenario, but best case scenario would be we would dominate you guys, but worst case, you guys come into the game and make it closer and pull off the Ram move. You know how the Rams were behind, you guys pull off the Rams.
But y'all have the advantage. What's up, Austin?
Yeah. What's going on with the Commanders this year, man? They're looking pretty good.
Y'all have the advantage, of course, being at home, and
but you're a good road team.
Y'all fought with the Chiefs, and the Cowboys are not the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be a different matchup right there. I'm not trying to say it's easier for y'all. 49ers don't want to take Cowboys lightly, just vice versa. But yeah, I think y'all just have the advantage of Sunday Night Football, being at home against the 49ers. I mean, being at home against, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And y'all had that battle with the Chiefs. I mean, because Chiefs are 6-0, man. Y'all played them pretty good. I'm just not sure if the Cowboys can sit there and play y'all good like that. I don't know.
I think the switch at cornerback was a huge dividend because Ronaldo Green's actually stepped up and played pretty well. Even on that Seahawks game, he had a huge impact on shutting down DK Metcalf. The Chiefs receivers didn't do much against Ronaldo Green. So even though we have Travarius Ward, there is this guy, Ronaldo Green, we drafted from Florida State. This guy's been playing really good football. So that's probably the one. So if we can limit Dak Prescott to less than 200 yards, that's a win because we know Dak Prescott can have like almost 300 yards a game at times. So if we can limit that, then that would be great.
See, I'm still sitting here waiting, like 2021 season, 22, 23. He's had a lot of, flash games, man, to where he balled out. And Dak hasn't done that this year. So when is it going to happen? Is it going to be against the 49ers? I would love for that to be against the 49ers. I'm telling you, man, like what is going on this year? Like Dak is not, I understand, we got receiver route running problems, and offensive line. And I know some play calling, with Mike McCarthy, but like what is going on with Dak, man? He looked too good this year. And I want to see him go out there and out the past, stop looking at – because I'm nervous about Fred Warner. Like –
he creates fear.
That dude flies around, man.
And he pushes fumbles. Yeah, and he'll fight for the ball too if he wants to.
But, just get after it, Dak. I sit here and I'm always criticizing. I didn't want to, sign you to this big contract, and all that stuff. Man, I'm pulling for you, Dak. Because you're Dallas Cowboys, man. It's all, it's all about this star, man. Lone Star State. Let's go, Cowboys. Go, Dak.
Well, that's how we all feel about this matchup. I mean, this has to have a meaning for both teams. This is a must-win for both. I mean, if the Niners don't win, that can be a deep hole for us. But if you guys lose, this can put you in a deep hole in your division.
Yeah.
So whoever wins will be the better team. So,
like, if we were to go 3-4, the Cowboys go 3-4. Hold on. How people say, "Who's we?" I don't care. It's we, okay? It's we.
Like he's a Cowboy, so he's a Cowboy fan.
If we go 3-4. We like the season's not over yet. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's closing out because we got the Eagles, still winning football games, and all of a sudden, Commanders have a whole new organization going on. Dan Quinn and their new quarterback. Jaden Daniels. Well, actually, his ribs are hurting. Is he coming back, or do you know?
I don't know if he is, but this is how life is when you don't have Dan Snyder running the team no more.
Oh yeah, definitely. But see, they're both those teams are winning, games. Giants, of course, they always end up being the Giants. This is another year for them. They're going to lose a lot of football games. You just already see it. But
Yeah.
but if we go 3-4, I mean, it's not over yet. But 49ers going 3-5, man, I don't know.
That would be a deep hole for us. But lucky for us, this division's pretty weak. But it's going to have to be a really quick turnaround.
Yeah.
That's a good question. We'll probably end. I need to get this guy on my show one of these days, man. I've been trying to reach out to him.
Shout out to Dallas Cowboys fan 1980, man. That right there is one of my favorite YouTube, man. Like, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. I'm like, y'all, like, this guy says the most real stuff, man. Like, I would sit here and I'll be thinking of other situations about my Cowboys, and I'll sit here and watch a video. And I'll just be like, dang, that's a good scenario. That's a good analogy. Dang,
I mean,
you're right.
I check out sometimes on him. Sometimes, I mean, I think I reached out on him on Facebook, but on the Messenger, but he never got back to me. So wanted to get him on, but maybe one of these days. But he seems like a real down, like probably like not those other Cowboy fans. Probably seems more like the realistic ones. Because Cowboys corner is one of them dudes. That's why I roll with corner more, because he's more realistic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you and Simons, you guys are like the realistic ones. You're not the ones that are riding on the Dak train and all that other stuff. You're more like.
I have to admit, man. Like 2017, 2018, 19. Like I was delusional, man. I was pretty out there because I just kept on having faith, man, that we were gonna, get up to the NFC Championship.
No,
but
he's not playing.
To that point, man, to where I'm just like I just don't know anymore, and I got to stop getting like mad. I gotta stop blowing up. You know what I mean? The last video against Lions. Speaking of AIP, shout out to AIP. He's a Lions fan. Good game to you. 2 weeks ago. Y'all knocked us out, man. Y'all that was some definitely a revenge. But I go ahead, man. Just like,
yeah, for sure, man. But may the best team win. 1980. We need to get in contact with a show one day, bro. But for everybody else, man, we'll see how it plays out on Sunday night, man. But it was good chit-chatting with you, Cowboys Face. Hey, we're both named Chris, so that's kind of an obvious thing, except you're spelled it different, and I'm spelled with a C.
Chris with the K.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on here, man.
Oh, yeah, bro. You've always been respectful. You've always been fun. And hey, you know what? I got a surprise for you, dude. Give me a second. We'll end the show in a bit, but I got you something. This is something you're going to like. Give me a second. I got this, bro. This is going crack you up.
Yes, I would choose the Lions over the Packers. That's obvious. That's a no-brainer right there. So AIP, yes, I want the Lions to beat the crap out of the Packers. Yes, I want the Lions. Of course, Cowboys ain't gonna, be there, whatever. The NFC, I want the Lions to make it to the Super Bowl. I want them to win the NFC Championship for the first time and make it to the Super Bowl. And hey, I would like them to win it all. I do not want the Kansas City Chiefs to three-peat. The first team in the NFL to ever three-peat. I don't want that to happen. I love Patrick Mahomes with with Texas Tech. And we have a lot of Chiefs fans around this area, because of Texas Tech families and alumni and all that stuff, but it's just I don't want them to three-peat. That's all I got to say about the Chiefs.
Yeah, look at my face.
Like, yeah, I retired mine. I was like, that's it for me.
I got the mask, but this is like a Halloween special for you guys this week. We'll see what happens, man. But yeah, big shout out to everybody else in the comment section. Yeah, shout out to AJ.
I'm so glad you put that on, because since you put that on, man, you just cursed yourself. That means the Dallas Cowboys going to win this football game. That's it. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, bro. And everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll definitely see y'all next time, man.